Hello. My name is Shannon Clements. Some call me the nomadic author. Others call me mental. Why? Because I like to think a lot. Now, today, what's on my mind, I guess I had to turn this way so I can get better lighting or whatever, is basically doing a little security for yourself. Now, when I was going through my Instagram, I saw this advertisement about securing your email and everything, and how many times people hear about hackers getting into your email and doing all types of stuff with your information, even sending emails out in your name and all that other stuff, and it's some malicious type stuff, or getting a hold of your banking account and all the other stuff. And so I don't know how good this is, but I just happened to see this one kit that was being sold on Instagram, and I decided to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta secure your stuff somehow, and when you get some of that other stuff that's supposed to secure all your identity and all the other stuff, it's not covering your emails and everything. So I went on ahead and got this. It's called a Titan Security Key Bundle. I just picked it up out of the mail today. So I don't know how good this is, but I'm gonna find out. But I looked up some of the reviews, and they were saying that this stuff really works. When people trying to get you back, how many times? I'm gonna put it like this: how many times have you been doing something on your phone and out of nowhere you get a text message saying, with giving you a security code, and you're like, hold on, I didn't request that. Well, if you didn't request it, who did? 9 times out of 10, somebody was trying to hack your email, find out what your password is and all the other stuff. So outside of having a two-factor, the password and all the other stuff, this is a little bit more secure. You know what I'm saying? Because while they trying to get it, once you sign into it, it locks your entire email down. There is no getting around that. And the only way to get bypass it, is what they say, is to get one of these security keys. Now, I know hackers. Some hacker somewhere is going to be intelligent enough to figure out how to get around it, but not everybody will. So it's adding more security to it, and only the best will be able to get around it. But why have every Tom, Dick, and Harry that want to just look into your email and stuff going through your personal and private information? So that's one of the things that I went on ahead and just so I can secure my emails, you know what I'm saying, make sure it gives me a little bit more security too, you know what I'm saying. I don't want nobody knowing every little thing that I do in life. There's none of that business why I have passwords in the first place. And then another thing that I picked up out of the mail is something that I've been thinking about, because I always see these videos where people talking about they finding out where they're from and everything. And see, I just happen to be an African American, as you can see, but I'm not one of those that just moved from Africa over here and got my green card or whatever. I was born and reared here in America, as was my ancestors, all the way up to the ones that was brought to this shore as slaves. And now, a lot of people can only take you so many generations back, probably as far as your great grandmother or whatever. But you don't know exactly who you related to, where everything come from, and all that stuff. And so the only way to figure out at least a little bit of information, do a DNA test. So I went on ahead and got one of these DNA kits. um, one of those DNA kits. I'm about to do the little swab test right now. You know, as it said, wait for at least a couple of hours. It's been about 3 hours since I ate something. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what's up with this. I'm trying to do this with one hand because I'm holding the camera in my one hand in the other hand. So let's see what's happening. Okay, break the tape. Hold on. I'm gonna have to break out my trusty field knife. Hold on. See what's going on. That's the only way you know what I'm saying, you gonna find out, because your people only gonna tell you so much. And then you have people who end up with feuding with their family and all the other good stuff too, and so therefore they try to delete certain people out of their family. We're not related to them. Get my trusty field knife out so I can cut this damn tape. Alrighty. And that's how a lot of families get separated from each other. Y'all got the same last name and everything. And see, one thing about it is that with Caucasians, just because they got the same last name, that really does mean that they're not related. That really does mean that they just might not be related anyway, or it might mean that they're related. But when it comes to us black people, the ones that descended from the slaves here in America and came from the western part of Africa, you know, now if you got the same last name, if you do the history of it, black people, how we came about having a last name in the first place. First, they was naming us a first name. You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't want to accept it, you got the whip to your back until you accepted that name. And then there's generation after generation born in slavery, you was given the first name, but you never had a last name. Now, when slavery ended at the end of the Civil War, and you was set free. Now, here's what some people try to look at the Confederates, and they say, well, it was this one guy, he was a Confederate, he was saying he was going to let his slaves go. No, he was letting the ones that was actually fought in his regiment go. What do you look like training somebody to fight and kill, maim and whatever, and then you take them back to the rest of your field slaves so they can train them too? It was already going through problems with revolts, with the slaves rising up and revolting, and sometimes taking over the goddamn the plantation. Nat Turner was good for that. So what do he need making a big ass headache for himself, taking military trained soldiers back to his and expect to be able to continue treating them that way, and then they're gonna turn around and start training the others how to fight and stand up for themselves. Eventually they're gonna train a military army that can take your shit from you and kill you in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. They went on ahead after they got released from slavery after the Civil War, and it came time to name everybody or put down on the ledger, who are you? Give you an actual identity as a United States. Well, actually, you still wasn't a United States citizen. Actually, you was. They gave us our citizen because it was the Republicans that did that. Not the Republicans of today, but the Republicans under Abraham Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln. And to this day, there has not been another Republican president like him, or even a Democratic president. None of them. So when it came time to put down on the ledger who they were, and so they can give them social security numbers and all this other stuff, they had no last names. So they asked them, what plantation did you come from? My last name is Clements. The Clements plantation. You know what I'm saying? You came from the Clements plantation. So Clements is your new last name. Not only did you give you a first name, they gave you a last name too. So now, here it is. You got to think about when you were enslaved. Every single slave on there was mixed and breeded with each other. And before they sold you on an auction block to go wherever it is that they needed to go, they first offered you to their family member that was in better standing with them. And so you just went from one Clemens plantation to another Clemens plantation. And then you breed it in there. And it's done for over 200-300 years. 4. And then you gonna sit there and have the same last name, Clements, unless you was in the witness protection program and they gave you that name. Don't tell me that you're not McKeon. Come on now. My other last name that I can rightfully claim is West. You know, because my father was a West. But I'm not even going to get into all that right now. Right now, I'm just going ahead to take this DNA test. Because I'm not trying to claim nobody. I'm just trying to find out where my ancestors came from. I'm not bugging nobody. Shit, I shouldn't have to in the first place, but still. Okay, in this DNA kit, it said, please verify each person's DNA swabs. Try not to put the name on there because I don't want nobody interfering with it. Damn it. You got it in there anyway. But DNA swabs. They give you this little vial right here with the number on it and everything. Give you the biohazard bag to put the stuff in. You know what I'm saying? And for a black person, that's the only way you gonna really find out anything anyway, because don't nobody know shit. Let's see, what else they got up there? Okay, it's 2 vials. And you got 2 swabs. 2 swab sticks. And I'm guessing this is the instructions. See, this is a DNA collection kit instructions. These are the instructions. Please register your kit at the place. It said remove a swab from its packaging and open one collection vial. Swab the inside of one cheek for 60 seconds. Place the tip of the first used swab in the vial. Press down firmly on the top of the swab to release the tip and seal the vial. Repeat steps 2 through 5 for the second swab on the opposite cheek. Place the sealed vials into the DNA collection bag. Place the sample bag in the prepaid box. What prepaid box? Okay, that's what this is. This is the prepaid box. Okay, the same box that it came in is the same box that you're going to put everything back into and you ship it out back to them. It's prepaid. So, it said drop the sample box in your local mailbox. And seal the box with the tape on the inside of the box flap. That right there. and send, you know what I'm saying, drop it in the mail, and then a few weeks later, you have all your information. They're going to send it to you. Now, I did a DNA test already. And before I took this one, I asked them, I said, do you share your databases with anybody? They said, no, we got our own database. We do everything ourselves. We don't share with anybody. It's several companies that got caught doing that stuff and they got sued for doing it. They said, no, we do all our own testing. We don't send it out to third parties or do any of that other good stuff. Now, I did it once already. I had a map created and everything. They went on, and you know what I'm saying, then it gave me like a little small book report on the migration of humans. You know, so they're only gonna tell you so much anyway. It's on you to use a little common sense, hence my name Mental, and figure some other stuff out. Now, in my last DNA, it came up strong over in Egypt. But people look at that today and say, well, that's them Arabs. Them Arabs was not the ones that was running Egypt a long time ago when it was in control of the world. It was black people. Now, don't get me wrong, because I did blip over there in Arabia too. And so now you got to think about it. If the Arabs is running it today, that means they conquered the people that was there. But they was not the first ones to conquer Egypt. They just took over the land. And they took a lot of people as slaves out of the land into Arabia. And was mixed with them and all the other stuff too. And they was castrating the men, cutting their dick and balls off and all the other stuff. And they was raping the women. Use them as servants in their palaces and all the other stuff. And a lot of them ancient Egyptians fled the territory because they didn't want to be put into slavery, and they started opening little small tribes all throughout Africa. But they was so hated by everyone because them Egyptians did some horrible things to a lot of people. Like I said, they ruled the earth. And that includes whatever race you're from, they ruled over you. Like it or not. And here's the craziest thing, because the Egyptians ruled longer than anybody else in history. For over 15,000 years. 15,000. Now I'm watching them try to change things and everything because they don't want to acknowledge it, but it was over 15,000 years. The ancient Egyptians ruled the earth. They did, and you can't rule that long without doing some horrible things to people. So you kind of get the point. And so when they fell, started in little tribes and everything all throughout Africa, what do you think was going on? All them other tribes, you slave masters, you used to pillage us and all this other stuff, and now here it is, you on the run? It's get back time. So the Egyptians caught hell for a long time. Some of them still stay there in Egypt, but they're a small minority in their own country now. You don't see no hieroglyphics other than in those over in the Sphinx and the pyramids. All that shit is Arabic now. You go to visit the Egyptian webpage, it's all in Arabic. Arabs rule all that now. And then running through, I sit there and watch people, I'm like, yeah. But so that's the reason why when I see certain people, well, we were just on the western coast of Africa. You got to go back a little bit further. That's the reason why when they offered to allow us to come back over in Africa, yeah, come on right back. Come on. Help us rebuild our country again. Yeah, just like we did a long time ago, we helped you rebuild that shit. But we was under servitude then. Before you sold us. And then people going back to do the same old... Yeah, well, you get it. You get the point. That's why I wasn't too fast to go rushing back over there. You don't know what's really going on in their mind. Well, they haven't been, or they open eyes, come on back. I'm not too sure about that. Because I might be leaving a bad situation here in America, even though here in America we got it better than a lot of other countries. But at the same time, we still got it bad here. I might be going from a bad situation to a much worse one over there. It might be good in the beginning, but once you finish fixing up their goddamn country, then what? You remember Rwanda? Where they went talking about we going through an ethnic cleansing? Get rid of all them fucking Americans. It's not the Rwandans talking about get rid of the Tutsis. It's them Ghanans or whoever else talking about get rid of them goddamn Americans. And America, look, if they didn't help them goddamn Rwandans, them Tutsis, motherfucker, you left America to go over there, tough titty. Oh, now they want to cleanse you, and now you want to come crawling back to us and cry? Okay. They gonna look at you like, okay. And laugh about the shit. So, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do this DNA test. And I'm gonna get it sent in. Hold on, let me see. Where can I put this? Trying to put it where it's actually some good lighting. If I pull this, it's not gonna cut off. All right. If I plug it back in, that's when it'll cut off and everything. Yeah. Let's get the swab test going. Biohazard bag, check. Biohazard bag, check. Set that right there in front of you. Swab. I'm gonna put a little spit on it too. Make sure they got DNA for real. Now, before you do this, they say on the website, give at least 2 to 3 hours after eating a meal, so that way you won't be mixing it up with food and all the other stuff. They get a good clean reading. Your mouth will be clean enough to actually swab down and put that in there. Now you got this right here. This is what the swab look like. And if you can see that on the bottom part, you're supposed to press that in, and it releases that releases the head into the vial. And this vial has liquid in it. It's a preservative liquid in there. So when you press that, it releases down into the vial, and then you seal it up and put it right in that biohazard bag. So that's what I'm about to do. Said do it for 60 seconds. I'm gonna use this timer as a timer. One for each cheek. That's why I give you 2. And go. Get it all on there good. That's 60 seconds. Open this vial. So you push that down in there. You push that little button up top. And it comes off. Like I said, I put a little spit in there too. That was the right cheek. One swab down. Put it in the biohazard bag. That's one down. Now open up the second one. Now, when I get the results, I'm going to view them. I'm going to put it on tape and let you read it. See it for yourself. Wait till it go back down to those 00 again. Then I'm going to swab my left cheek. Alrighty. Alright. There we go. Get all up in the gums. And time. Get that top right there. Stick this down up in here. Press the button. See how I pushed up? It released. Swab down. Put a little spit in there too. Close that. Make sure it's tight. Take the other one. Make sure it's tight. That's all the DNA they need to track down as much of your ancestors that they have in their database. And then I can take both my DNA tests and I compare them. And I might later on down the line, like maybe 2 or 3 more years down the line, maybe 5, do a third one because they should have, because I think I seen one that was over in Iceland, and they're trying to use AI in order to make the matches and everything. So within about 5 years, they should have it to the point to where, oh, it really leaves your inside of your cheek a little raw. But anyways, that's me doing my DNA test. I'm getting ready to seal it up, send it on in, see what they got to tell me. All right, this is Metal checking out.